tribe Africa.
Woo!
Let's start with this story. Officials from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and the Nigerian Correctional Service faced questioning by the House of Representatives regarding allegations that they were bribed by Idris Okuneye, also known as
Bobrisky.
following his conviction for abusing the Naira in April. Both agencies denied the claim. The EFCC rejected accusations that Bobrisky paid 15 million naira to have his money laundering charges dropped, while the NCOS maintained that he served his sentence at the Kirikiri Maximum Correctional Center, not in a private apartment. Bobrisky was sentenced, in case you missed the story, Bobrisky was sentenced to 6 months in prison in April by the Federal High Court in Lagos. And after he was released in August, rumors began to surface that he received preferential treatment due to his celebrity status. And then last week, the town crier, also known as social media influencer Martin Zotse, also known as Very Dark Man, also known as VDM, released an audio recording allegedly from Bobrisky, in which Bobrisky claimed that a godfather and the Controller General of the NCOS arranged for him to serve his sentence in a private apartment. Next thing, they were asked to come to the National Assembly. VDM showed up, but Bobrisky did not show. Here is the clip.
And also, in the voice notes, Bobrisky said something about the godfather. So it's obvious that there's a godfather somewhere that might maybe told him not to come, and then nothing will happen because he has disrespected everybody here by not coming, and you are trying to force me to talk, and you are already throwing me little threats that you will tell me. I was staying in the cell, and this is not my first time, it's not my second time. So I'll go and stay there until he's ready. But for now, I will not say anything. If I say anything, let me die.
Anyway, according to the EFCC, money laundering cases against Bobrisky were lawfully dropped. What are your thoughts on this? You know, with what people are saying, certain people, based on your status, be you a celebrity or a public figure, that they tend to get preferential treatments. Do you agree?
How VDM got to get that audio was because some guy, Bobrisky owed some guy money, you know, and he wouldn't pay, you know. And then again, that's the thing, you say, if only I just paid that guy his money, you know, and say, hey, the money that you gave me, that you loaned me, here is your money, take your money back. You know, we probably wouldn't be here today.
So Bob allegedly revealed secrets to somebody who he owes money.
At that time, he wasn't owing the guy money. He was just about to get the money. This is what I think, you know. But you see, that's the thing again, right? If you owe somebody money, just pay them their money or make them understand that, look, man, I don't have this money right now. I'll get back to you. Do not just start acting, because from the voice recording, there was a part where, you know, Bob was, or maybe from the text conversations that, you know, that VDM talked about, Bob was saying, "I go do your worst. I will tell people that you kissed me, that you smooshed me," knowing how it is, you know, knowing that we live in a society whereby, you know, if you hear that any man is doing those kind of things with Bobrisky, you know, in a sensual or sexual way, you know, the society will look at the guy some way. So that was like a way to blackmail the man. But the man, I guess the guy was like, you know, I don't care. Go say whatever I want to say. I didn't do it according to what he said, that he didn't do anything to Bobrisky, you know, physically, you know. Then he went ahead and released the video to the audio recording that he had this whole time with a VDM. So at the end of the day, if only Bob had paid this guy his money, this whole thing wouldn't even get here at all. It just shows you the level of impunity, disrespect, you know, and how you feel like because you got some clout or you have some name to yourself, you know, you're not going to, you know, honor whatever agreement you have with people. It just shows that you're a bad, terrible person. You know, that's on the, I mean, that's aside. Now, regarding the him staying in a VIP suite and all that, or staying in an apartment or whatever, I don't know for a fact personally if where he stayed was an apartment outside the prison vicinity or all the way far away in a different, maybe in a different city or something like that, or maybe in a different, totally different area. Because what I know is that most prisons have VIP cells or VIP corners or VIP, how do I put it now? Suite where they put like some, you know, some VIPs in the society, in the community. They don't just throw everybody in the same cell, maybe cell 1, cell 2, like they have in Kirikiri Maximum Prison. I don't know for a fact if where he was put, where Idris Bob himself was put, was actually a VIP of the prisons, or he was put in an actual apartment house. You know,
it sounds like an actual apartment outside the prison.
Okay, so if that is the case, then that is against the laws of the land, you know. But if he was put in a VIP, I think he does have a right to request. Your lawyer can fight for that for you and say, you know what, I want my client, I want my person to be put in a VIP cell, not in the general pub. You know, yes, you have a right to that. You can fight for that. You can prove that in court. They'll give that to you. It's part of the law. But if it was put in a whole like house out of the whole thing, then that becomes a crime against you know, the laws of the land. You know, I rest my case at this point.
My thoughts on this is that you see Nigeria don't scatter, bro. The madness. See, if we ever thought we had order, the little order we had, everywhere don't scatter. When the Joseph Abdul Karim was singing, Nigeria was great.
Nigeria, yes, so it's funny, right?
We were trying, just didn't know, because what is law in Nigeria now? Is Bobrisky. People are also of the school of thought, or certain people are alleging or coming up with conspiracy theories that was just a distraction because of the protest that happened on the 1st of October, Nigeria's Independence Day, Fearless in October. And it's like, what's up with the timing? You know, Big Brother Nigeria don't end. Is this a strategy? Is some people have seen accusations. I'm not saying I agree, but there are some people who think VDM is just a tool that is being used as a distraction.
Talking, I mean, a quick one on BBN Nigeria. Honestly speaking, like, does or no, is that show? Do they still do that thing? Like, do people still go for that thing?
I see it against. I see it against my wheel on my timeline.
Does anybody watch that thing still?
Yes.
How much is fuel to fill up your gen to what BBN? I think it has lost its relevance. I don't really think a lot of people care about BBN right now. You know, people are more interested in Survivor to survive. You know?
But Nigerians also like distractions.
I know they love distraction. That is why, yeah. That is why, you know, that school of thought or that saying that is going around that video might be a distraction tool used by the people in the society, you know, to always try to distract people and try to, like, you know, skew narratives when they're coming up and all that. Hey, it might be true, it might be a lie. I don't know. Only time will tell.
To allude to what Kabuchi said, everywhere in the world, prisons have VIP sections, and there's nothing absolutely wrong in, you know, you being put there if you have the privilege of, you know, pursuing such. Also, if there is a chance of you being molested sexually, Bobrisky is actually a sexual victim, you know, because
sexual victim of who?
Nigeria does not recognize transgenders. Now, if it was somewhere in the United States now, if someone like Bobrisky is imprisoned or incarcerated, he's going to be sent to the female cell, jail. It's not going to be with men. Yes. Have you not heard the story of the guy who said he is now a lady, was put in a female prison and impregnated quite a number of women in prison? So if Bobrisky were to be in New Jersey or some other state now, he'll be in a female prison. Many things about Nigeria, I'm not going to pretend at this age of mine and act like I've never heard it before. So that people don't go to jail. People commit crimes, they get convicted, and someone else serves their time. It's not something that is new. There's stories we've heard since we were young, from our teenage years. So I'm talking about 25, 30, 35 years ago. It's not new. So the news about Bobrisky spending his time in an apartment is not something that thrills me or shocks me in any way. However, it does not negate the fact that law was abused, and some people are above the law. Forget the term Godfather, whosoever it is. Having deep pockets can, you know, expose. You can get such advantages in Nigerian prisons. However, it's the debacle that has really pissed me off. The idea of, you know, National Assembly and a House of Representatives meddling over such. I mean, are we saying that law enforcement has broken down to the point where the Nigerian police cannot effectively handle cases like that, or the EFCC, an organization that has been empowered to pursue financial crimes, cannot deal with issues, even if they have to recuse themselves along the line of investigation? At what point in time did we become a national joke that you are inviting VDM and Bobrisky to the Federal House of Representatives even before a police hearing? So, I mean, is it that we lack critical thinking, or we're just a society that loves to be entertained to the point where we are beginning to lose our senses, because that thing was a shame. It was a sham. It was ridiculous to watch. Like, does it even make sense? Now, VDM, again, we're a country of initial gragra and premature ejaculation. Any little thing, we get excited, boom, we stand up and down. That's it. He is enjoying a lot of following. I guess he has turned himself into some sort of social critic, an activist, helping people pursue debts, things that Nigerian police should do. But because of the collapse of the structure in the country, he has become some sort of social hero. That's fine. However, again, to what extent does he abuse the power, the so-called power he now has, much to the point where he was accusing Falz of being a homosexual? It was inferred, but such inferences at that point in time could carry heavy implications. And so when the Falanos told him to apologize, else a suit would be brought against him, the honorable thing he should have done was to apologize, as opposed to going to court and say, yeah, Falz, my guy, you need to come and see what is happening here. For me, that was BS, to be honest with you, because you have flouted the law, you have accused people, that's character assassination, you have defamed them, you come out openly as a man of honor and apologize for that, and then you move forward. Let the police deal with it. We are dealing with much more bigger national issues than Bobrisky. We still don't have electricity. By the way, today is National Energy Efficiency Day, meaning this is a day where you have to be very, very conservative with energy, particularly because it keeps more money in your pocket. Now, think about the environment, think about the society, turn off your fridge, don't use duvet in Nigeria, it's a temperate region, use a light bedsheet, put your AC at a very minimal level and enjoy your pocket, because tuition fees, electricity bills now are now starting to look like tuition fees. VDM is enjoying a lot of grace on social media. He abuses it sometimes. Bobrisky, let him face the law. He needs to keep his mouth shut. And then borrowing money or not borrowing money, one thing I said the other day is that if you're having any conversation in Nigeria on the phone, for you to have peace of mind, know that it's recorded. And that would guide what you're saying. Yes, people do it. Husbands, wives record husbands, the siblings record themselves. Everybody's recording, because, and then I keep saying it, the moment someone starts to record you, they are trying to gather evidence. So what are you doing to protect yourself? Just minimize what you say.
Let's go to Tanzania very quickly. After taking office in 2021, President Samia Suluhu Hassan, Tanzania's first female leader, implemented reforms to ease restrictions on the media and opposition parties. Opposition rallies were allowed and previously banned newspapers were reinstated. However, recent developments have shattered hopes for a new era of openness. Opposition rallies have been either prohibited or forcibly dispersed. In early August, over 500 opposition supporters were arrested. And in September, just last month, 3 opposition leaders were detained after their planned rally was banned by the police. As a woman, I look forward to the day we can have a leader that we can rank among when we're talking of the Sankaras of this world. You know what I mean? You can mention a female president. That could have been Samia, but Samia is giving them Bangladesh vibes.
Talking about Bangladesh or the Bangladeshian, female president, she has run away now. The people have said, "Madam, come and go." She's nowhere. She don't jackpot. She don't run because she don't read. You see, this is the thing, yeah. Some, before somebody gets power, you can't really tell how they are. No matter what I tell you during campaigns and manifestos and all that, it only takes just a little time and some level of power and influence and maybe money, to reveal their true self. It's just crazy. I mean, at the end of the day, they say what a man can do, a woman can do better. So the lady now, she's not she's giving them Hitler. What I mean? It's a Hitler vibe. There's Hitler now. We have a Hitler in Africa. Here we are now. A woman is ruling. A woman is the leader. She's the president. See what she's doing next. And how Africa is set up. It's a very, very patriarchal society. So people will start saying, okay, I mean, we'll let a woman rule. Look at how she's doing. So it's not really a good image, for her. And she said, I believe that a lot of young ladies and young women are looking up to her to have some level of professionalism and do the right thing, so that there will be like role models that that could say, okay, we want to be like this lady, want to be like this woman. But here she is today, it's not really what the Tanzanians expected. I'm very sure about that, because even as an African person myself, I was happy when she won the election, when she was sworn in. I was like, this is beautiful, it was a breath of fresh air. But here we are today. You can't really tell what it is. But
why is the burden of responsibility always higher with women? Why are we expecting that 1 out of 54? And this is me assuming that other 53 countries in Africa have male leaders. Why is this news, considering the fact that Nigeria, a very corrupt nation, is experiencing deep corruption? Other parts of Africa as well. Is it because she's female? That's number one. Number two, and this is to also support the other side, because I'm just looking at both ends. Women naturally, because of their nature of nurture, they when they want to engage in criminal activities, they think beyond the immediate generation. They steal for their grandchildren, they steal for their great grandchildren. That's what.
Are you by any chance talking about Denzi Alice Maduekwe?
Cecilia Ibru, all of these people, they go beyond normalcy, the level that even men are scared to attain in terms of committing crimes. They go beyond that. But I've also just realized that there are proclivities tied to gender when it has to do with corruption. You're either a corrupt person or you're not. You either can steal or you cannot steal. It doesn't matter what it is. Again, there's this argument that women steal more because their husbands have told them to do so. So there's but I just feel that there's always the burden of responsibility is always heavier on women than men. However, I agree with you that, as being that it is not normal, or not say normal, the occurrence is low for women to be government heads, it's always good to strive in cases like that to be exemplary to the coming generation of women. But we've also seen, Hillary, there were a lot of allegations when she tried to run for office and all of that. So it's not a gender thing, is a human nature. However, I can understand the sentiments and the disappointment. But let's take it easy on female folks.
So a woman can be just as corrupt as a man. This is why it's odd, because
is it odd because she's odd to be in that position?
We just expect some kind of exemplary leadership. We don't expect you to come.
Why do you expect it more from women?
No. Nobody's actually expecting more from a woman.
No, that's why.
Let me get my point across. For the fact that she's a woman does not mean she should be excused for her wrongdoings. And for the fact that a man is ruling elsewhere does not mean they should be excused too for their wrongdoing. We're just saying that this is the thing. Yeah, women don't usually get this kind of position like every market day, like every AK on call market day. It comes like once in like maybe 55 years, So then again, so you're like, oh, okay, this is a woman. Okay, let's see a change. So are you not telling me that? So both men and African women, there's no. So who will not? Is it aliens? If you are saying that, let us excuse women, so we shouldn't talk about it, because what you're saying is that we shouldn't be as hard, or maybe we shouldn't even bit and eye about it because the men do it anyway. That's what you're trying to tell me. Which means that men can't rule us because they're corrupt. Obviously, we're tired of talking about it. Now we see women. We shouldn't talk. So let's alien come out.
What I'm saying is, why is the expectation higher with women and not?
She's a politician, which is a woman. We expect the best from her.
So I understand
do the job. Let her do the job.
So why is it, if this news was about a male Tanzanian president, it won't make it to our show?
If he was killing people and people were disappearing, we'll call him a butcher too.
We will talk about that. If they're killing people, they're suppressing. But the corruption part, these things that you're talking about, they happen all over the continent. Opposition leaders get missing. All of these things, we are already used to this despotic leadership that we're dealing with. I'm just saying that, why is there always a heavier burden of responsibility on women whenever they are in positions of leadership? Why?
Well, I don't think anybody places a higher burden on a woman per se. I think the thing is just that, if you say you're going to be a leader, just be a leader, just do your job. And if you do wrong, people will talk about you regardless. Yes, I get it. Like I said again, Africa is a very patriarchal society. So oftentimes, they might want to give the man a pass. I understand that angle, where you're coming from. But then again, in this case,
Africa was never a patriarchal society.
No, I know that. I know that. Historically, it wasn't like that. But over time, it's become like that. Yeah, I get that angle. But in this case now, this Tanzanian president, Madam, Stop. I mean, let the people stop disappearing.
So when we don't think of the president from Bangladesh who ended up being exiled, disgraced herself, and all that, why it's shocking, and it's not that stories like that don't make the news, but why? And I get Abib's point that why should a high expectation be placed on women? I completely agree, but there is an expectation as well, because you talked about nature or nurture, right? I didn't expect, especially because she did not lead with that. Do you know what I mean? Why are you cracking down on opposition rallies? It would have been so nice to just have that leader, that female leader, who could really be that shining star. Why do Africans love Trump?
I think Africans like powerful men. I think Africans they like men who exude a lot of confidence. They like men to a strong extent who talk down on a lot of people. It's a power trip thing that has gotten a lot of Africans to like Trump. Number one. Number two, and I'm speaking from this angle as a Nigerian, in terms of some of our values, the ones that we hide, the ones that we're not openly proud of, they are the things that you find within the Republican Party. Republicans, they frown against same-sex, they frown against all of these liberal things that the Democrats push. A lot of Nigerians are like that. However, they cannot come out for maybe political correctness or whatever it is to come and share these sentiments that the Republicans boldly talk about. And so they are all closet Republicans. Now, Democrats have this thing with Black people. You know, everywhere you go, it's like the Labour Party in the UK as well. It feels like minorities, immigrants tend to tilt towards the Democrats. And so everybody's always like, hey. But deep down, a lot of Nigerians, a lot of Africans, they are closet Republicans. But Donald Trump, he for men that have become weak, for feminine men, for men who are poor, because I keep saying that the greatest victims of patriarchy are men and not women, especially weak men. You know, Donald Trump represents that symbol of authority, of power, of misogyny, you know, this machoism that is clearly lacking in their lives or the people around them. And so they support him. Because to be honest with you, Donald Trump doesn't bring anything to the table.
Regardless of anything at all, he's human. So and he's a charismatic guy. You got to give that to him, you know. So of course he's gonna have some level of following and some loving. He makes me laugh, you know, the way he calls his words and all of that. I'll be laughing, man. I'll be joked at, man. I'm sorry. I'm like, man, this man funny. Some Africans see him as, oh, this guy's charismatic. You know, I like the way he sounds, I like the way he talk. I like him for that. You know what I'm saying? Some people are like, okay, well, this guy, you know, I like the way he ruled the first time when he was president, you know, about some years ago, and I respect that. Some people also like what he stands and believes in. He says he's a bully. Every politician is a bully. If I'm proud and comfortable and confident in my skin and in my nature and in my ways, and you feel that I come across as being proud or being full of myself, that's really your problem. Because you know what? I've been able to say to myself that, you know what? I'm the best man for this job. You know what I'm saying? And I believe in that. I'm working and fighting for that. I don't have a problem with a man like that.
My answer to that question, why do Africans support Trump, is because of cultural value and religion. These concepts are obviously interconnected. Africans seem more conservative, tend to lean more on Republican type views. And then when Trump comes and is a super microphone for Republican ideals, and he seems to go on the extreme end, of course, that's going to appeal to certain people who align with that. I don't have a problem with people supporting Trump, but these are my reservations when it comes to Trump. I'm going to use Haiti as a case study. That comment he made, and I know this conversation has been overflogged, but the impact on the Haitian society is still ongoing. You talked about him being charismatic. Clearly, people follow Trump, but you opened your mouth to make a comment like that. Had this happened to, say, my community, maybe I would have felt the heat more. If we all start getting targeted, all because a man made a comment like that. I'm not even talking about Trump's policies. You're not a unifier. During COVID, there was controversy. Even when George Floyd died, America was divided. I've been in America for decades. America has not been as polarized as it is right now. The same thing when I talk about Nigeria, at least in recent history, Nigeria has never been as polarized as it is now. Supporters, not saying people like you, Kabucho, or even some Africans, I'm just saying certain supporters who do not know better, they're actually impressionable. And before you know it, whatever he says is Bible. So if he can say it, then why can't I be racist too? Why is it that the results of Trump's leadership, why is it that we see more racism? Why are people more brazen with racism? What does that say about him? And you don't see him coming out to condemn it. You hardly see him coming out to condemn it. Number two, the controversies. Again, back to Tinubu, it's also why I have reservations. Why is your presidency so controversial? Do you know there was a time I even enrolled in one of his programs for real estate many years ago? It was somebody I actually respected. So it's not that I still, no, I'll give him his flowers. You know what I mean? But again, it's those reservations I have about him. And I guess we'll see what happens next month. Kabuchi, I spent $500 on that course. Nothing came out of it.
Trump, as a person, as a character, as an element of character, as a human of character, is not to be emulated. It's not somebody that I want to exemplify my life after. Let us get that record clear. His character as a human being is not what I wake up and wish to be like. That is, I mean, come on, man. I'm already way too grown to even start changing character at this point in time. So I've already chosen the path that I want to be in, which is for the good and for the beautiful and for the beautification of life and the world itself and anybody that comes across me. So I'm not saying he's not beautiful or wonderful to his people. But Trump as an element of character, as an embodiment of character, is not who I wish to exemplify my life or look up to or model my life after, or even that of my children, people close around me. However, the reason why I say, that's why I say I don't follow him, but the reason why I say he is the man for this job at this point in time is that we need to realize that the president of the United States of America, the biggest and the largest democracy on planet Earth, anywhere in life, and the longest democracy on earth, needs a man like Trump to bring in a level of world peace and stability. The president of America is more than just for the people of the USA. You are the president of the free world. It's a lot of responsibility. And I feel like Trump, like I said again, it's my opinion, is that man who can bring some level of sanity and stop this madness, Hamas, Gamas, Baraz, whatever, Israel, this one today, Iraq, Iran, whatever, anybody, Russia, anybody, and bring some level of sanity and clarity. That is one. Two, Trump is the man that I feel he will be able to make sure that this crazy interest rates and prices of everyday commodities for the everyday American is stabilized, or better still, reduced to some level. The inflation is crazy. If you don't want to say it, I will say it.
It is.
So Trump is the man who will bring that level of stability in the economics. Thirdly, I do not want to live in, I don't wish to live in a society whereby the government will be able to make decisions on how my child or anybody that I know around me child can be taken away from them and reassign gender reassignment surgery without my knowledge, or even the fact that I can even teach them and tell them, you know what, you can choose, you can wake up tomorrow and choose whatever you want to be. Personally, like I said again, no disrespect to anybody, but these are my beliefs. We need world peace.
And you're right about, his ability to bring peace from shithole countries, so it's okay. We're an entertainment generation, whether we like it or not, that's taking over the waves. Wizkid, I believe, is having a nervous meltdown.
So this Afro beef,
oh, I like that.
I know. For those who are not aware of the story, so basically, Wizkid posted a cryptic tweet on X, and a series of tweets actually, and then fans and other X users quickly connected the dots, realizing the post was a reference to a viral video involving Davido. This is our own Kendrick Lamar situation, as far as I'm concerned. Some will tell you it's good for the culture. As long as Afrobeat is moving, I'd rather have the peace. You know what I mean? But if you feel this is what is necessary for the culture, y'all do what you gotta do.
These guys have done amazingly well. I love both Davido and Wizkid, but Davido, because of his body of work, the number of hits that he has back to back, I tend to tilt towards Davido. Though I also agree that with Wizkid that Davido is round and his dressing a little bit can be off, and whosoever is tempering is flashy, but I mean Wizkid is more stylish. That's my choice though. Wizkid is more stylish. Davido is more expensive, loud with his dressing, but I feel like whosoever is tempering Davido with regards to responding is doing a good job. He doesn't respond. He's gonna just die a natural death.
Yeah. First thing first, man, these guys are superstars. So regarding how to dress, yeah, you might like one, not like the other one as much. But at the end of the day, man, I think Dave, Wiz, I think they dress flat because they're superstars. You got to look the part, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I go with Dave. I go Dave anytime, and he comes out clean sometimes in a nice suit. Got his big fat head like a frog. He's all good. What we fail to realize is this, right? Crisis does nobody no good at the end of the day. Yet it's good to get hyped up and all of that. I mean, some people might say it's a marketing stunt, you know, pull the crowd, get enemies on both sides, and release an album. Everybody wants to hear what you're saying. I'm not that. But then again, you know, yes, you might sell that album and make that money, but at the end of the day, you know, people are divided and all of that. So who is the crisis doing any good at the end of the day? So it does, I mean, especially for the music itself, for Afrobeat, it's not going to do us any good. So let them stop the fighting. We don't need the fight. We don't need anything. We just need love. Afrobeat is a music of love and happiness and dance. It's a feel-good music. There's already a lot going on in Nigeria as we speak. And these guys command huge following. Because this is the thing, yeah. We'll do this fight to a point now. Nobody won't even want to hear Afrobeat anymore. The music genre is going high, but I think it has even stopped at the setting ceiling. And it can still go further than that. But if we keep pulling ourselves down, it's sad, man. Now, I don't know who really started the whole thing back and forth, but Wiz, I think he took it too far. Talking about Davido's uncle being a dancer and all that. Even though, yes, the governor is a politician or whatever, but then again, it's a governor. He can dance. He's human. What is wrong in that? And why is he bringing uncle that I don't have uncle that dance like that? What's your business with that? That is bringing family into the whole thing. That is messy. That's petty. Wizkid, Haba. Come on, man. No respect for the grown old man. I love to watch his dance videos, man. Governor Adeleke of Osun State. I love the man. He's a happy man. I love that. It gives me some joy, man. When I watch, I'm like, okay, it's not all that bad, you know. I could still laugh. And just so you know, dancing is a form of cardio. So it's working out also. Burning up some calories. What are we talking about, man? Come on, Wiz. You need to burn up some calories, man. Don't do this, man. Like that was below the belt. That wasn't necessary, man. Bringing family to all this. And now even keep basketball straight short. See the dress, say your lord, they dress like basketball. Basketball self collect. So wait, so you're trying to say that basketball, okay, so what I think what you're trying to say is that you're dressed like a clown, because basketball is a comedian, and comedians, you know, are likened to clowns because you make people laugh. You know what I'm saying? So you're saying that the lawyer dresses like basketball, who is a clown, a comedian. Oh, but Whiskey wicked like this. Then the that guy fight to he go finish. That's happen now. Yeah, I beg. I used to beg you, I beg. Just calm down.
Y'all know Drake. Y'all know
Drake Whiskey fights. Huh?
Y'all know Drake and Wizkid are friends, right?
Don't let Kendrick Lamar catch up.
Wasn't that how Drake started when he went family, and then Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah, they're not like us. So but let's hear you go ahead.
Learn from Drake, Weezy. I love both of you. So recently, an announcement was made of actor Idris Elba portraying Okonkwo in the film adaptation of Chinua Achebe's classic Things Fall Apart. This has ignited a vibrant debate on social media. Fans of the novel and African cinema have expressed mixed reactions. People complaining they don't think Idris should come portray a legendary character such as Okonkwo. So everybody has opinions on this. And despite these concerns, I mean, Nigerian-British actor Davido is one of the producers. There are other Nigerians involved in the project. So that kind of, you know, just know that the movie to an extent should be able to maintain its cultural authenticity. But what are your thoughts? Do you agree with the people and all the up going on the choice of Okonkwo?
I like that you mentioned Davido as, you know, being a part of the crew putting this forward, because I was about to say that, you know, whenever we talk about African Americans, Black Americans, the most iconic figure, the most iconic name. I don't think I've been to any state where there's no Martin Luther King Boulevard or road, you know, was played by Davido Yalawo in Selma, you know, and I know a lot of African Americans kicked against that, but we were happy as Nigerians because we felt it was growth for one of us. So yeah, we also, for some of us that would look beyond just growth, we also saw it as a form of integration, you know, considering the divide that already exists between African Americans and Africans in America and Africans in Atlanta. I do not see anything wrong with Idris Elba playing that role. Now, the argument that holds water for me, but is not strong enough to, you know, erase that choice, is the talk about accent, where they feel that somebody who is Igbo will be in the better position to speak like typical Okonkwo, you know, and that's, for me, I can see the sentiments there, but still, I feel it's an open role that any Black person who can fit into it should take if the opportunity arises, especially because Idris Elba would also command a lot of box office numbers.
I think, interestingly, even Davido Yellow could have played that role. Chiwetel, people have brought up Chiwetel as your first name. Idris is global super sensation, as those other men are. But I think that's an interesting choice, and I guess we'll wait and see what happens.
This is very personal for me, as an Igbo man that I am proudly. Chinua Achebe is a deity. It wasn't just a human when he was alive. He was a living God amongst men. You know what I'm saying? So Chinua Achebe is an oracle. It's somebody that you don't go to, or you don't go to his place of rest or his abode, just as you are. You're coming in front of a living oracle when he was alive. And now that he's dead, he's an ancestor, he's a legend. Chinua Achebe is one of the greatest minds to ever come out of the Black continent. You know what I'm saying? And he wrote that book, Things Fall Apart. I read that book when I was very, very young. I didn't even know what I was reading because my dad had a copy. And when I grew up, I also read it again. But that said, right, the Crowd of Concord in that movie was in that book was the protagonist. So he carried the whole story of that book. Things Fall Apart has been, translated in over 200 languages. I stand corrected, So it's a huge deal to the Igbo culture because it's like a reflection, and it's like the making and the showing of the Igbo nucleus community, the culture and of the people. And also there was a movie way back in the day, like I think 85 or 86, that this same Things Fall Apart was acted. There was a movie for it, and the Okonkwo was played by Peter Doche, who is very much alive.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it was
Nigeria.
The series.
It was a series, right? I'm not against Idris Elba playing a role. However, he must get correctly the pronunciations, and the accents of the people of the Igbo tribe. Do not depict or try to sound, like some of the movies that was seen come out from Hollywood when they try to play an African character. And I'll give you a few examples. Will Smith played an African character some time ago in some movie like that. And what? Concussion. And when they try to speak, when they want to sound like African in quotes in Hollywood, I don't know who told them that all Africans sound like this. Hey, my people, where are we going today? Do you know that we will get it there? Really? The same thing happened even in Black Panther. There was a place where the guy tried to sound African, and they always have to. So there's a stereotype that if they do not sound like this, even in coming to America, Eddie Murphy and if they do not sound some type of way, like, hey, please, Igbos do not. Whoever is watching this, Igbos don't sound like that. We don't speak English like that. So you got to be able to. Matter of fact, you need to take Igbo classes. If you mean, because like I said again, the production crew, I believe they have the money, they have the resources to make Idris Elba take Igbo classes. You have to play that role well. You have to play to the point whereby it will be so difficult to know that actually you're not an Igbo man. Do not come sounding, hey, my people, this is the land of Obuefi.
But I have to give kudos to John Cheadle for Hotel Rwanda. I stand to be corrected by Rwandans, but I thought John Cheadle did his homework.
He tried.
But even the last king of Scotland his last name is Whittaker, Florence Whittaker. Yeah.
He also did an amazing job, but I stand to be corrected again by Ugandans who, like Kabuchi is the Igbo man who knows the accent. So somebody who understands the Igbo language
needs to groom him.
Glaringly.
We need to accept that there will be a problem because
there will be a problem, but it can be minimized to the barest. Nobody said that's going to speak Igbo like I do. Not am I going to speak English like the British guy we do. I don't even intend to speak English like the average British guy, who, by the way, they might not be even as educated as I am, but English is their language, so I give it to them.
So what happened to us? Why are we not speaking our languages anymore?
Yeah.
All become westernized.
That's sad, though. Our names, our language, these things are very, very strong. We should try and propagate these things at least. Our naming, our language. And like I said again, it's not because of BBC. I've said this on so many forums, man. I think the Yoruba race, man, I'll give you guys that. You guys are the greatest, man. When it comes to this, you guys propagate your culture. I'm so proud. But I know you say
now based on the ease of Westerners pronouncing those names.
No. If I say this about you, imagine us. Our own is even gone totally. Tyrone. I'm like Tyrone. Tyrone is making a tie. Tyrese. I know Igbo man that Tyrese. I'm like Tyrese.
What's he doing, Kolika? What's he doing, Kinuka?
What's he doing, Kinuka?
Just beautiful things are doing only. Oh my
God. The joy of the
Those
Lord.
things are going. Why?
That's what I'm saying. This the other
Now
thing.
we are saying Yoruba people are saying their tiara.
You guys are even better. I'm telling you guys, I take you guys.
Bro, desire.
Bro,
You don't get desire.
bro, if you can even get what you guys are doing, get to your level, I'll be happy. Our one is worse. Our side is the worst, you know. And to a very large extent, you know, it's colonial mentality, you know. It's
away from this colonial mentality.
My brother, I was telling someone that I don't know what the white man do. The thing they deep as in they talk one another. What about people that bleach? Me, I hate bleachers. What about people that bleach?
Me, I know of a mother that told her teenage children that they should do whatever they can to make sure that they are not dark. A mother in 2024.
And in 2024, this was recent.
Yes, I know a mother in 2024 that called her children and said, whatever you do, make sure you don't end up being dark. And we know what colorism is doing to the
girls, especially, man.
What do they call this? Self-esteem of young girls in high school.